Happy Wednesday, and welcome to 8 Questions with. It is our fourth show. Wow, it goes by fast, doesn't it? Um, okay. Let me make sure that I'm all the way up. I am. Let me see if I can get myself so I can see the screen. Hey, Paladin. Paladin came up for this interview because he knows what a badass Josh Hahn is. He's an old friend. He always asks me how he's doing. See, he came up here. He's, he's throwing himself against my legs here. All right. Thanks so much, Cheetah. Okay. I'm going to share us out. Um, we will have a small delay in Josh being here. He was going to be running a little late. So he said that he will be here, but he's running late. So I'll be saying that many times over until. All right. See if I can do this. Uh, hey, Ken Titus. Holy crap. Ken-san. Wow. What time is it there in Japan? It's got to be at least what, 15 hours ahead of me, 14 hours ahead of me. I know New Zealand's like a day and a half. I am doing good. I am doing good. I'm getting ready to do a interview in a little bit. So we're doing the 8 questions thing. How are you? It's 8 a.m. Okay. 8 a.m. tomorrow though. It's 8 a.m. Thursday. Wow. Wow. Well, maybe you can tell me if the Yankees win tonight, since you're already in the future. Um, yeah, we're just here. This is the fourth show I've done so far of this format, and so I'm gonna share it out for a little bit, see if I can get some people to come over and say hi. Not really sure. I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm just sharing myself out here. Oh Lord, Are you all right? Hi, Kevin. I am in the middle of doing the usual, sharing it, the sharing everything out. Um, wow. Ken, this is Kevin. Kevin, meet Ken. Ken is a school teacher in Japan. And Kevin is he is he works, what exactly is your official title, Kevin? I know you and your friend do a lot of work during the day. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, mold infection. That's good. You're gonna be on antibiotics for a little bit. Hopefully you two guys can connect with each other. That'll be awesome. Yeah, you're gonna be on antibiotics for a little bit, Ken, and you'll probably make sure you wear that mask, even if you've been vaccinated for the COVID. Please wear your mask. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's the one that taught Boogaloo Shrimp all his moves in what was that, breakdancing? Shit, from Canon Films. Yeah, yep, yeah, yeah. I sort of saw that coming. Well, it's a good thing you don't smoke or drink, Ken, because I don't. I mean, I've never seen you do any one of those or mention any of those in your videos. So you're already halfway up right there. So you're gonna recover quicker than most, and you do walk an awful lot. So I think you're in good health, Ken. You should be able to bounce back from this. Now, me, that'll probably be it for me. Uh, I am actually in Michigan. I am sharing this out right now. Our guest, Joshua Hahn will be here. He's running a little late, so I decided to go up a little early. Well, not early. I decided to come on anyway and hold the fort until he is able to get here. He will be here. I don't know exact time, but he did tell me he's running a little late. Traffic in LA is a bear, and you know how that goes. He's on the West Coast. Um, Oh, wow. I did not know that. Are you serious? Why aren't they doing vaccinations? Wow, that's crazy. And they still want to have the Olympics there too, right? Yeah, that's gonna really fly like a lead balloon. So yeah, so I am sharing this out. I see people are in here. We got four watching and two talking. So if you want to hit the thumbs up button, that would be really good. I am going to share this out. Oh, all right. That's a really pretty picture. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's see if I can spread this out a little bit. And yes, Josh has done horror movies, so that will enable me to share this in a couple of horror groups. So that would be awesome. Do, 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 do. And my good friend Christopher will let me do that too. So I'm going to do that. And let me go bounce back over here. Oh wow. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Oh, you have no mask. The hospital didn't give you any mask at all, Ken? You need a wow, that's ridiculous. Wow. I did not I would thought that would have been part of their I would have thought that would have been part of the protocol for mold infection, having you wear a mask. That's a little different. I am wow, okay. This is a pain in the butt right here. They won't. They're not grouping my. You know what? I don't care. I'm gonna do it this way. Yeah. I was trying to do a mass. I was trying to do a mass share from my homepage, but they won't let me do it. They won't let me look up the groups I want to share to. So that's a pain in the ass. All right. I am here. I am just sharing this out. Okay. That's a pain in the butt. I don't know why they do that for. Uh, yep, okay. One more here, and then we'll come back to the chat and we'll talk a little bit. Yeah, that was so yeah, I'm sharing this out here. Hey Brad, how are you, sir? Corny, how are you? How are you? Our guest, Brad, I think you can relate to relate with me to this. My guest is a little late, but he is coming. He will be here. Um, so he is on his way. Um, so I decided just to come up and share us out and prep it up and get ready for him when he comes here. Um, Josh Hahn is a really nice guy. I met him last year on as part of the. Oh, you're at work still. Uh, replay, replay, replay. Um, I met Josh through another friend who he was doing a show called Death Squad, and they all went over to Albania and shot this movie down in a 110 story salt mine, an old salt mine. There are 110 stories underground when they shot this movie, this TV series. It's an absolutely insane show. Um, and he's been working ever since. And he's done a lot of small roles, and his roles have been bigger and bigger. So I like catching him on the way up. So Josh Hunt is really a up and comer, and extremely smart too. Which I really, I really like that. He can sit there, he can talk about just about anything with anybody, and he's a really cool cat. And he's a tough son of a bitch too. But you'll see that when you see him when he talks. When you hear him when I do the interview with him, this man is facing some. He's a warrior. That's all I gotta say. Definitely a warrior. Uh, all right. See if I can send Mikey this. Maybe he can help me out. Uh, I hope everybody is doing good today. Here on Hump Day. Uh, yep. Oh, good. Okay, only two. Okay, three people watching. Okay. So yeah, I am. We are waiting for our guest. I'm a little early. Um, or I'm on time. He's running a little late, but he will be here, and we will do this. If you guys don't mind, please feel free to pass us out or share us out. Um, oh. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Papa. I gotta throw it up. I gotta throw it up. I'm coming. I'm coming. Our guest will be here shortly. He is running a little late, so right now we're just chatting until he gets here. Um, so I know we're supposed to be dead on at 7, but he's running a little late. That's part of the deal with doing a live show like this. Um, it does happen. Um, the only thing, if when you're in a position like this, the only thing you really want is to make sure that the guests let you know that, hey, I'm either not going to make it or I'm on my way. And Josh is on his way. Look, there it is. There's the rabbit. Hell yeah. Um, and Amanda, just let you know that I did pick up my marshmallows for the Chubby Bunny challenge. So that will be coming that will be coming up on the July 4th midnight hour. Um, next week's show I do believe, will run smoothly on time. That will be with Timothy Cox. And Josh he works a day job too, is what it is. He works a day job. And so sometimes it gets a little hectic at his job, as you can expect, being in these days in this time in the world. Not jobs aren't necessarily 9 to 5 like in the old days. So yeah, it will be funny. It's going to be pretty. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Papa, if you want to, man, if you want to jump in on that show, and you too, Amanda, if you want to jump in on that show, we will be happy to host you. You can come on and guest on the show. If you want to bring your marshmallows and you want to come out and hang out with us, I got room for you guys. Oh yeah, I got room. You guys can get your marshmallows, and then jump on in there and do Chubby Bunny. I guess who was mentioning that they made a chocolate marshmallow now? Yeah. See, we're all about interactiveness here on the midnight hour. Uh, you know. Oh no, yeah. One. I was actually thinking about this. Um, Oh, you try the chocolate. Okay. I was actually thinking of getting the small little marshmallows, the ones you put in hot chocolate. I was going to get a bag of that and then go that way. While everybody's stuffing their mouth with the big fat ass marshmallows, I was just going to do the real small ones, and I could probably sit there and go Chubby Bunny most of the night. Well, it would actually be on the 4th of July weekend, Papa. Not this weekend, but the weekend after that. So hopefully, if you don't have to work or anything on the 4th of July, that's what I would. Yeah. Okay, Amanda, you're laughing, but I'm gonna save a chair for you on the 4th. I'm saving a chair. I'm sending you an invite. You can come out. We can come. I think. You know what? No, but you already know who's gonna win this contest, right? Because he wins everything. He wins everything. Hobbs is gonna win. Oh, you already did the Chubby Bunny. Okay, I have to go back there and see that video. Maybe you can post that aside the post your video in the podcast group, Amanda, so we'll take a look at it. Oh, alcohol and explosives do not mix. Those are very dangerous components for rabbits. Rabbits don't mix with alcohol and explosives. I mean, it'd be terrible to blow off a paw, but at least you'd be drunk, I guess. So I guess. But if you wanted to postpone the alcohol and the explosives, you should do the Chubby Bunny challenge with us. Oh my gosh. You know, it's funny that there's a the late night radio show, I think it's called. It's a channel that shows puts on old radio shows, and they stream the old radio shows, and they're very popular, very popular. And um, yep, I know that one, Papa. I know that one. I know that cartoon. That's one of my favorite cartoons. Um, oh, now I lost my train of thought. Well, yeah, I was mentioning about Hobbs winning the contest. He just has a really he's got luck. He's won the spices contest. He's cranked out now it's dark contest. He's cranked out. He's just really as far as contests go, he's just really got it going on right now. Oh yeah, I remember that one. Okay, I don't know if you know this or not, Papa, but maybe you could tell me. So is Warner Brothers gonna have to? Are they gonna censor any of the Bugs Bunny cartoons? I mean, I don't know if you're into that much of the cartoons or not, but I was wondering if you know anything about that. I always keep on meaning to do that. I have to make a note to myself. I know that they're editing and censoring a lot of content right now. You know, like with the Gone with the Wind and other shows that have been shown. You know, they're being cut or censored. And that includes cartoons. I mean, you know, Warner Brothers was they took Pepe Le Pew off the cartoons because of his uh, of his French nature. You know, he was very assertive with his lady cohort. So I guess they thought Pepe Le Pew was outdated, so they pulled him out. It's a cartoon. Oh, well, at least I know one thing. This is going to be a rough. This is going to be a rough show. Everybody's here waiting for to see Josh, and now Josh isn't here, so now they're bailing. Um, yeah, Dumbo, yeah, and I think they're doing that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they either pulled or are pulling or whatever. I think they're doing that to Song of the South too. Yay! Yeah, I'm glad you guys are both here. Trust me, I am. I was just it's a tough thing when this happens. Um, I didn't prepare anything, you know, as far as talking, because I was generally going to be talking to Josh by now, but I'm for Josh Hahn right now, but unfortunately, I didn't have anything backup. So I'm glad you guys are here. Um, Yeah, I heard they're gonna chop up Song of the South too. Either they were gonna chop it up or they're pulling it all together. Song of the South has been discontinued. Yep. I never saw that movie. I never saw it. So I just have. It's just really strange seeing that right now. My only thing about when companies do this, here's the problem I have with companies do this. Look, I don't mind. I think it's great that they're going to pull it, right? You know, but please, whatever you do, don't come back there and re-release it, in a year or so for now, saying back by popular demand or with severely edited. If you're going to take it off the market, take it all the way off. I never saw it. I can't speak of it. Um, I know that Gone with the Wind was the flap over Gone with the Wind, um, which the part that cracks the thing that gets me about the Gone with the Wind was Hattie McDaniel who played the role of Queen. What she played Queenie, right? Hattie McDaniel. Let's see. That was the part about that I didn't know that until I was reading about it. Let's see. I do believe. I just want to make sure I got her name right. I don't want to butcher it. Um, Hattie McDaniel played Mammy. Okay, so Hattie McDaniel, she actually got nominated for an Oscar. She got nominated for an Oscar, but did she win the Oscar? Let's see. Let's see. Okay, yes, you're right. She won the Oscar. Now here's the pro. Here. Yeah, you're right. She did win. Here's the thing. She couldn't even go inside the auditorium where her peers were at. She won the Oscar, but she couldn't even go inside the auditorium because of her skin color. Now, ain't that the shit right there? I mean, I when I heard that, I was blown away by that. I was like, wow, I did not know that. Yeah, but she was not allowed to sit in the auditorium where all the Hollywood stars are at. Boy, that's something else. Um, to those who are coming in or peeking in and only seeing my face, our guest will be here momentarily. Uh, he will be here shortly. He's running a little late. Joshua Hahn, he'll be here, and we will get 8 questions going. It will happen. You can welcome to join us. We're just making a light chit chat. Well, chit chat. I don't know if it's a light subject or not, but it's a pretty heavy subject. But that's all right. I like that. I've only seen Gone with the Wind one time. I saw it once when I was a kid. Um, that's it. Oh, Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, right? Yeah, that's a really good point. But well, how do you do? I mean, I know there's like two central thoughts of this. There's this one thought of pulling everything off the shelf. Um, uh, everything's about pulling it off the shelf and not letting it be seen again. Or do you continue to let it as a teaching moment? You explain to it where this is what the time period was. This is where we have progressed since then. I mean, not that I expect any kids to really read Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn these days, but yeah, Huckleberry Finn. Yeah, that was a rough one. The cartoons have come out, the caricatures and the cartoons, the stereotypes. I mean, it's like are we past that point where we can use movies and TV shows or books as a teaching moment, or have we been until hell bent on revising our history so much that it's impossible now for us to take books like that and use them as a teaching moment? Or do we have to pull them all off, or do we have to pull them all off the shelf? I'm so with you, Papa. I'm 100% with you. I wouldn't. I don't like. I don't. I would never want to see a book pulled. Um, even Okay, okay. Honestly, I can't say that. I mean, if you want to pull Trump's book or O'Reilly's book or anybody from the far right, I'm down with that because they're not teaching anything but hatred. I mean, that's all they do, and they're supposed to be in an enlightened age. We're supposed to be in an enlightened age today, and yet that's what they're still peddling. So that I don't know if that should be said on an interview show or not, but I just wanted to sit there and say that because I mean I don't believe in censorship in any I don't. Maybe I'm being a little facetious when I say pull their books, but the fact of the matter is a lot of their books are not filled with truth, and that's damning. That you can't have books with lies on it. I definitely would use. I still continue. I remember being taught about Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. I have not read their books in a long, long time, but I would never want to see them pulled. I think you're right. I think we could use them as a teaching tool. But unfortunately, the way our school systems are being now, everything's trying to be whitewashed, and you can't do that. History cannot be whitewashed. Um, exactly, exactly how not to act. That we're all one and the same. We are one and the same. It's like I bleed red, you bleed red. How are we different? How are we different? Hi, Red. How are you? We are actually talking about a subject you are involved with as a writer. We were talking about our guest is running a little late. I'm waiting for Joshua Hahn to be here. Um, he's running a little late from where he's doing, and we are talking about cartoons and books from the past. So some of the books and cartoons be pulled or censored or not. And you're a writer, so I was a writer. How do you feel about that? Do you feel any book should be pulled from the shelf? Like the turn of the century. I mean, would you pull Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn from the shelves, or like Scary Stories from the Dark? Would you pull that from the shelves? Oh, Your blood is purple first. Yeah, I guess that's I you know what? Maybe that's it could be. I mean, I heard that it used to be it was like bluish, and then oxygen hits it and turns it red, I guess. So no, don't you leave you continue, yeah, don't pull the books. Yeah, that's I think that's I think that's the truth. You gotta, much as you don't like them, you gotta leave them on there. You have to leave them up there, but you have to be able to teach though. See, I do think it's harm if you don't if you're not allowed to teach about the books and about the writers and about the time. And the thing about it is, you look back then, and you can almost you can't apologize for it, but it's a time frame of where they are at. Here today, we have no excuses. We have zero excuse for anything. We can't cover what we're doing. We can't. We in today's society can't sit there and say, I didn't know." You do know. We're supposed to be the most enlightened people, right now, the smartest, most intelligent, the most tech advanced, and yet no, no, I agree. You cannot censor at all. I do think you could teach about it. Okay, we have five watching and seven thumbs up. I appreciate everybody here. Thank you for being with me. Eight questions with will be here momentarily. Joshua Hahn, our guest, is running a little late. So since the show was supposed to schedule to start at 7 o'clock, that's why I'm here at 7 o'clock, because that's what time we're supposed to go up. So plus, I still believe the First Amendment must still apply. No, I don't like such content, but I took an oath to defend and protect American rights when I joined the Army. I just wasn't kidding. No, no. But as a soldier and as American, um, that First Amendment right. Wow, I got to be honest with you, man. I mean, watching people walk down my street with swastikas. Yeah, that just doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. I am not gonna. I don't. I'm not. I don't want that. That is not part of the First Amendment. The First Amendment did not cover that kind of hatred and that kind of backwards thinking. Our forefathers would never approve of that. They never would have. There's not a single one of them that will sit there and look at what the swastika or the Nazi symbol, and if they knew what the Germans did in Italy and Japan and whatnot during World War II, they would not have approved that. They would not have sat there and said, "Yeah, let them fly their flags because it's just their expression of it's their expression of rights." They just wouldn't have done it. I just don't believe that. I don't believe they would have approved that. But yes, I mean everybody has the right to express themselves. Oh, what's going on? Yeah. Uh we uh we're waiting for our guest, Josh Hahn. He's gonna be here shortly. And we have turned our waiting time into just talking about then we're taking about yeah, I don't that's just I mean, do you really think that the forefathers would actually have, if they had actually had the foresight to see what would have happened in today's world back then? Do you think that they would have? Do you think they would have okayed people walking down the middle of the street on our streets, waving swastikas and symbols of fascism? Do you think that they would have approved of that or no? I just don't. Yeah, we do, and and we do. But then again, look what happened to our rights during last summer. Uh, thoroughly thrashed and yeah, opens a whole opens a whole box of Pandora right there because we saw what happened to that when we try to march against that. We saw how we were treated. That's a whole. It's a yeah. To borrow to coin a phrase, Papa. That's one deep rabbit hole to go down to. Of course, if you guys have not connected with each other, please do so. Red is a poet and a writer, and she is traveling the country and in her RV, going from place to place, looking at America. You have Papa here, and he's a very sensitive soul and part rabbit. Are you part rabbit or all rabbit? Um, uh, right. Boy, I think Josh is going to be. I think Josh is going to be really. I think he's going to be walking in here when he watches the replay. He's going to sit there and say, "Hell yeah!" You guys are going to really like Josh. I promise you. He's definitely worth the wait. Um, Next week we have actor Timothy Cox on the 30th at 8 o'clock, and then July, I'm advancing. I'm basically making the show go twice a week. I rolled it out slow in June to get my feet wet to make sure I could do this format. I think I can. Um, Starting in July, on July 6th. Um, hey, Mr. Dan, greetings, sir. Greetings. Uh, uh, on the first and starting in July, every Tuesday and Thursday, Eight Questions with will be here. Let's see, your black Puerto Rican, Wiccan, Buddhist, nudist, Juggalo, and part Cottontail. Hell yeah, I love about that Cottontail. Hell yeah. Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention to you, Papa. Since you gotta mark this down on your calendar too. Um, on July 14th, my friend Jimmy Arsenault is going to come onto Eight Questions with, and you will not want to miss that show. I promise you, Papa, you will not want to miss it. If anybody here likes music, if you like music on any sort of level, you definitely want to show up for that show. Jimmy Arsenault is a walking encyclopedia. That guy has booked thousands of shows. I'm not kidding you. He's worked thousands of bands and he's booked thousands of shows. Um, and one of the shows that him and I worked on together was the Insane Clown Posse. Uh, Greetings, Knife Right. How are you? We are waiting for our guest, Joshua Hahn, actor Joshua Hahn, 714, Papa. Yep. That will be, I tell you, that show will be a lot of fun. You guys will all love that show. I guarantee it, or your money back. Um, yeah. How are you, Knife Right? I think I might have connected with you today over at Phil's stream. Um, Phil Stream was Phil Stream was popping today. Boy, that was a good show. Good show. Let's see. I'm gonna see if yep. Okay, I just got a ping. He says he should be here in about 20 minutes. Okay, so he is actually going to be. Yeah, he'll be here about 20 minutes. He said. Oh, I love that. Uh, where are they gathering at this? Where are they gathering at this year, Papa? All right, so rabbits. You gotta love Bugs Bunny. That was where I got my exposure to rabbits from. I did have a rabbit as a pet. My older brother's nickname was Rabbit. Let's see. You talked about Walmart carrying. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That is crazy. Okay. Ohio. Yeah, that's not crazy about that. Uh, Walmart carries hardly anything now in their entertainment section. They want to sell you TVs, and they have a big old TV section, but you go there and go like, yeah, I'd like to watch something on my TV. I like to buy something to watch on my TV, and I can't. Oh wow. I definitely think that you and Mr. Hobbs should probably meet up that weekend. You should go drive by there and rabbit punch him and take him with you. Well, seeing you two at the seeing you guys seeing you and Hobbs at the gathering of the Juggalos, classic. Oh, nothing, Hobbs. You didn't hear anything. there he, there he is, Papa. Rabbit punch him and take him to the insane clown posse show. Yeah, that's our my guest will be here shortly. He's going to be here in about 15 minutes or so. Um, I definitely hope so. Well, I was thinking more like hit him with a chocolate rabbit. You know, give him one of those Easter rabbits with the hollow chocolate. So I take it you don't eat chocolate rabbits then, Papa, right? You don't eat candy. You don't eat any rabbits at all. Look at that. See there. Oh yeah, that's what I. Yes, there it is. See, you guys would be the two man. You guys could be the two man mosh pit. Thank you for coming in, people. Some of you folks that might not heard. Our guest is coming. I'm sitting here watching that button for him to make his appearance known, and he will be here shortly. He said about another 15 minutes or so. We're supposed to start the show at 7 o'clock. Unfortunately, he's running a little late, so he will be here by he said about 8 o'clock or so, and then we will get this party on the road. Greetings, Vincent. How are you, sir? No one should eat rabbits. I can honestly say, Papa, I have never had a rabbit in my life. Never, never had rabbit. Never wanted to. I might have a like a Easter egg, like a peep or something like that. But no, as far as a real rabbit, no, I have never done that. Uh-huh. I think Mr. Hobbs should go. Definitely. Red, I think you should head down to there too. The Gathering of the Juggalos. It's a sight to be seen. Yep. More juggalos the better. Speaking of health issues, I found out that I can no longer be eating potatoes or tomatoes or anything with a nightshade vegetable. I have to look up a list of that to find out exactly what's on that list. I cannot eat it anymore. I do. Wow, that's terrible, Red. I'm sorry to hear that. Uh, Papa, explain to Red what the Gathering of the Juggalos is at. Since Papa is a juggalo, he can tell you. I've worked with the band. I did a show with them. But Papa, it's a lifestyle. It's like van life. It's a lifestyle. Um, and they take it very seriously. It's a Papa. Can you explain what being a juggalo is about? I mean, for everybody in the chat. I mean, I know a lot of people hear the term, but they don't really know what it's about. I mean, it's a lot more than just listening to the band. I mean, it's like you listen to the Grateful Dead. They have the Deadheads or the Parrot Heads from listening to Jimmy Buffett. It's a little bit more than that. It's the music's good. I mean, some people may not like the rap music, but it's not bad. It's pretty good. Yeah, you got to. Yeah, that's it, Vincent. Yeah, that's what it is. They all meet like there's the Gathering of the Juggalos is basically all the fans that come around across the world, and they all meet at a central spot. I think it rotates. If I'm not mistaken. I think it rotates, and then they have a weekend full of fun, of music. They have a booze, they have food, they have just like crazy. Um, I thought you were sort of a juggalo there, Hobbs. All right, we're getting the message here. All right. Woohoo! I don't know if I would count myself as a juggalo. I listen to the music. I don't. I met the band. I Yeah, we did do the Fago with the show. They asked for Fago, so we actually did that. Um, I actually met the band more off stage. Um, but I'm gonna save that story for the 14th. I have a Juggalo story, but I'm gonna save that. I will say this: both they were very nice people. They're very nice people, not anything like they are on stage. I know that they are wild and crazy on stage, but off the stage, nothing like that. I thought you were a Juggalo, Hobbs. Weren't, aren't you like an honorary Juggalo? Man, we had to do that. We had to do two shows. Like, woohoo! Exciting news. Greetings, sir.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, Josh. So happy to see you, man.
Likewise. Can you
So
guys hear
happy
me
to.
okay?
I believe so. I hear you fine. Can you everybody hear Joshua fine? Let me put this back. We are talking. We're talking Juggalos. When you go
What's
back to watch the replay about this, Josh, you're gonna be thoroughly entertained. Let me tell you.
what's a juggalo?
The Insane Clown Posse.
Oh,
So some folks don't know exactly what a juggalo is. So there's a couple of people in the chat that are juggalos there, and so they're explaining the culture of it. You know, I did a show with them once. And,
oh, no way.
yeah, I did a show with them once, and they were really nice guys, and not anything like they are popping up on the. Everybody sees them all just painted up and all these wild guys, but off the stage, just like you and me.
That's great. That's
Man,
great.
I'm so tickled you're here. It was just worth it. This was so worth it. We got a few people in the chat here. We're waiting very patiently for you.
Thank you, guys. Sorry for the
Yeah.
wait. Thank you for your patience.
So, yep. Yeah. I know you're on limited time. So I'm gonna jump straight into this. You're safely parked in, right?
Yeah, safely parked. I got a good parking spot. Ready to go, man.
I know the LA traffic is insane. When you told me that, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I was I was actually a little surprised when you sat there and said, yeah, 4 o'clock's good. I'm like, in LA, okay, I'll go with that. Most of the time, most of the West Coast, I always do 8 o'clocks. When
Yeah.
when I'm interviewing Mikey, I'm going to do his is at 8.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Okay.
yep. And it looks like I'm going to get Michael Cassie too. He's
Oh, okay,
actually going to,
cool.
yeah. So one of the, so I'm going to, and I'm saving Mikey Markov. I'm saving him for Homestead.
Oh,
When
great.
Homestead comes out, I'm
Yeah.
saving him for that. Yeah, I'm getting all you guys back up here.
Excellent, man.
And
Appreciate it.
then there's
Yeah, thank you. And also, Patrick, thank you for doing what you do, man. Like, these are always really fun, and I really appreciate the work that you're doing.
Oh, I just loved you guys, man. You and both mics. I mean, the death ball was absolutely insane. I mean, we're gonna get into that in a minute, but man,
Sure.
that's one story I love telling them. I love telling that story about you guys, how I met you guys and you guys were filming down there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
just absolutely insane. Okay, in the chat, people are acknowledging you. They're saying hi, Josh. So that's from Red. Um, and then we're gonna get this going.
Cool.
Um, Now, obviously, I just introduced everybody here. Had you introduced, but go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your background.
Sure, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Josh Hahn. I'm an actor, originally from the Washington, D.C. area, specifically Maryland. And I've been out in L.A. This is going to be my 10th year. And yeah, acting, voiceovers, some stunt work here and there, but yeah, try not to stay too involved in the stunts, but
Yeah.
mainly just acting.
Um. So, how's the pandemic affected you and your? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. How's the pandemic affected you and your career so far? I mean, are you? How did it bring it to a scratching halt? Were you able to still work? Are you starting to get busy again now?
You know, during the pandemic was actually, I was shocked. It was really fruitful. Um, during the pandemic, I booked a co-star for a TV show called Dave. It just aired on FX last week, Wednesday. So I'm on episode one. Um, so I booked that during the pandemic, which I thought was amazing. And I made some really good connects. So I made some great connects with a friend of mine now. He became a good friend. His name is Stephen Ford. He's a director, um, actor, director, and he's been pumping out a lot of these YouTube videos. And one of them was a love letter to 2020 called 2020. And it was in the style of 1917. So he did it all in one shot, one take. That's how it was cut up. And yeah, it got over like 2 point something million views. We
Wow.
got accepted into like a bunch of film festivals. I think in the Las Vegas Film Festival or something like that, we won best ensemble. Um, yeah, it's been really great. Like we recently did a 48-hour film competition with the Russo brothers. It was the Russo brothers film competition. 48 hours. They gave us the prompt on Friday. We filmed it on Saturday. And then he edited it on Sunday and submitted it. Turns out we got second place out of 700 people, and so
Wow.
it's been amazing. I got some really great footage. I don't know. I'm super lucky, man. I'm really blessed.
I've heard about those 48 hours film festivals, those challenges.
Yeah,
Um, I've seen some of those. Those are absolutely insane. How
this
do you
was
how do you stay sane during that? Because there's no rest.
no. So it's crazy. All the props go out to Steven. He literally. So we were talking on the phone like the day before, and he's like, I don't know what the prompt is going to be. So it's like that brings a little anxiety. But we were just running through ideas. Like it could be this, it could be that. And he had this one idea that was just like, you know, um, it's like the idea was, oh yeah, I'm submitting into a film festival. That's the idea. And I'm like running against the clock. And then as we're shooting it, we're going through the fight choreo. He then figures out the ending, which then becomes super meta. And we were like, dude, holy shit. Like we he came up with the idea the day of, literally on the last shot, and it tied everything together. And yeah, my mind was blown, to be honest with you.
Uh, it's like the Russo brothers were blown too. If you got second place,
Yeah, yeah, I was shocked. And it was really cool because I played the lead, and like in terms of like me being exposed out there, it's like I'm on the thumbnail, and it's just really cool to know that, holy shit, the Russo brothers saw me, and they like what they saw. And yeah, yeah, that's it's really neat.
Hey, you know, when a door opens, it doesn't matter if it opens all the way, halfway, or a quarter way, just as long as it opens. You
Yeah,
know,
as long as I get my foot in there.
right?
Yeah, 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 man.
Um, so you guys you had a good. I mean, because I've heard a lot of artists that were really they were struggling definitely, and
Yeah.
they're definitely struggling. Um, so I was glad to hear that you yeah. Oh, I already know one thing you did, which we'll be talking about again soon because I have to tell you, man, I am on the edge of my seat for this, and I'm going to be absolutely crushed. It's what I saw is all there is, because as much as I loved it, I wanted so much more than what I got. I mean, I'm sitting there going like,
Oh,
this needs to happen. You know what I'm talking about?
the
Do you
Oddjob
know it?
project.
Huh?
The Oddjob project.
Yes.
Yeah,
Please,
yeah, yeah.
please tell me.
Funny enough,
Please.
me and my friend Ilgene, he's a one of my best friends from college. He's a writer. He just wrote his first book, and yeah, we're writing something right now. We have like a rough outline of what we want. Um, yeah, we just gotta flesh it out. But it's in the works. You're not the only one. A lot of people want to see more of it. I'm like, oh wow, that was the first time me writing and producing something. And shout out to like my friend Josh Maybe, Christian Howard, even Mike Ferguson. He was in it too.
Yeah, yeah.
These guys, man, they all came in and pitched out and helped me like bring this dream project to fruition. So like I'm just forever thankful.
We're talking about is that Josh did a short. Tell us about the short, Josh. Just tell
Got
us
it.
about it.
So guys, it's I don't know if you guys are James Bond fans out there, but so uh Goldfinger, you know, there's a villain in there named Oddjob. In the comics, he's like this. He's a very stoic Korean spy, doesn't talk. In the movies, he doesn't talk at all either. He just grunts, and his like signature move was um the bowler's cap with the blade around it. And he would throw it, and it would like, chop people up and stuff. So they redid the comics and they revamped his character, and they actually made him into, I want to say, almost the equivalent to James Bond, but literally the Korean version of James Bond. He's got sex appeal, he's got swagger, he can be gregarious, he can joke. So like in the comics, you see this personality come out, and the creator of this Oddjob is Greg Pak. He works for Marvel, um, wrote a bunch of comic books, but he was basically saying like this guy could potentially be, James Bond's greatest ally or his greatest foe. And I love that because it's like, you know what, we're gonna leave things into like interpretation, like whether he's gonna be like the good guy or the bad guy. And so yeah, a friend of mine told me about this project and he was like, check out these issues of James Bond. And I said, okay. So I did, went to the comic book store, and I was like, oh, there's a guy named John Lee. Who is this guy? And he's like, this is the new Oddjob. And I'm like, that's really cool. What do we do? And he goes, you should play Oddjob. And I said, me? All right. Um, so yeah, with their help, they helped me write it a little bit and like gave me back some feedback. And yeah, dude, it was awesome. I think it's got like 11,000 views on YouTube. It would have had more, actually. Funny enough, um, with the YouTube algorithm, don't put the word "kill" in the title because it's going to get flagged in other countries. So I know
Yeah,
we've lost thousands of views because I remember it went up to like 15,000, then it went down to 10, it went back up to 13, it went down to 9, and me and my director friend Josh were like, why are we losing views? Like, what's happening here? And then turns out it's the title. It got flagged in certain countries. Um, but yeah, first time producing something, 11,000 views. I can't ask for more, man. That was great. I'm so happy about it.
Doomsday in the chat mentions that he says one of the best Bond villains, my personal favorite. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely can drop the link. Definitely can. I will drop the link for sure in the description box after the interview. I will do that. Well, let me see if I can find out. Let me try to do that now, Josh. What is the channel? I already subbed to you guys, but
Yeah, it's Rogue Origins.
right, wrote. Uh, dude, this Rogue Origins, I'm telling you now. Once you guys see this, you'll be just like me. You'll be sitting there going like, "Holy shit, this needs to happen more and more." Um, let's see. There it is. I'm going to drop it into the chat for these guys so they can take a look at. They can look at the. Let's see.
Yeah, check
Now,
it out.
now,
If you guys are into like video games, anything nerd culture, my friend Josh is going to be pumping out, you know, some great projects. There's some really great ones on there. Like the Cowboy Bebop one is on there. We did some Street Fighter stuff. Yeah, check them out. Do a like, do a subscribe.
Yep. Here I come. I'm coming back, and then we'll talk about it here in a second here. Yeah, this is absolutely insane because you know what? See, I see other people doing like fan movies. Like there's Star Trek, there's
Yeah,
Star Wars, there's all that stuff, and they do it well. In
yeah,
fact, one in the horror community they just did called "It's Me, Billy." It's an hour long, and it got really well received. I mean, people loved it. And I was just thinking to myself, why can't you guys do this with this? I know that you have to jump through a little bit of hoops with the MGM. Whoever bought them, Amazon or whatnot, but you
yeah.
still can get away with it. I mean, if you sign off on everything, whatever they want you to do, like you can beat James Bond's ass, but you can't kill him.
Can't
Um,
kill him. Right, right, right.
no, and as you'll see in there, you'll know what I'm talking about when you watch the short. Uh, yeah, he definitely. John Lee needs to come back. I mean, yesterday, I am not. I'm not that excited for fan projects, but
Yeah.
when I saw this and I saw the potential for it, yeah, I geeked out hard.
Thanks,
I
man. I appreciate it.
yeah, I definitely loved it, and I just said, this just can't be it. This just cannot be it. You just can't do this little piece and then walk away and do something else. No, you got to go back there and bring that back to us because we want to see that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like now that we've gotten such a great response from it, we're toying with the idea of, all right, maybe we can start doing like a Kickstarter or some type of crowdsourcing so that we can make something a little bit more substantial.
why not? I mean,
Yeah.
why not? I mean, I don't see. I think if you guys wrote it out and and have I mean, you guys are definitely, obviously you're not going to be able to do all the crazy stunts, but you could at least do some super cool dialogue. LA would fit perfectly for the background of it. I mean, you could easily carry this off. I mean,
Yeah.
look how smooth that first scene was. Not only did it have action, but it has some strong acting too. I mean, I
I
like the guy who
appreciate
played.
it.
I mean, that's really what caught me was like, oh, I believe him. I believed him. I believed you as John Lee, and I believe what I just saw. It looked so. It looked so perfectly realistic. It was perfect.
Oh
Um,
man, your
yeah,
words, man. That's awesome. Thank you.
I was geek. I tell you what, that's gonna already make my top 20 of the year because that was just such a badass film.
No
Um,
shit, man.
no shit, no. Um, okay, so how did you get your start in the business? I mean,
So
how did we get to this point?
you know what? There was a time. So when I was living in DC, I graduated college in 2008, and I was working, and I just hated my job. Like, first, it was really hard to get a job in 2008, and I was like, I got a job at a call center, at a financial regulator. This is also when like the stock market crashed, so I'm dealing with just a bunch of customer phone calls, and everyone's really upset. Everyone's losing money, and I don't know. This wasn't the image that I had, after I graduated on how I would be spending my time. And so I got involved with some like within the Asian American community in DC. One of which was collaboration. And collaboration, they what they do is they curate like talent to do a variety show, whether it's singer-songwriters, rappers, poems. They could do some acting on there as well. But yeah, so we got involved with that, and some friends were like, "You should do acting. You should try it out." And there's a small film community there, and I was like, "Sure, dude." So there was a movie that someone wanted me to audition for, so I said, "Okay." My first time auditioning, and I booked the part, and I'm like, "Okay, that's cool." Um, and then the stars kind of aligned. Like at that time, I was working as a federal contractor for doing background investigations, and then my manager knew I wanted to move out to LA or New York. And in order for me to have that spot, like someone had to quit or someone had to get fired or whatever, a position had to open up. Something opened up in California, and she was like, "Go ahead and put it through. I'll go ahead and approve it." And like in about 8 months, I found myself, going to LA and
Wow.
pursuing this thing. And I also remember this one moment when I was driving home from work. I was at a red light. It was 4 p.m. and I was just thinking about, oh, what am I gonna like my life at like 40 something years old. And I'm saying to myself, oh, I wish I did that. And then that right there, that lit a fire under my ass because I was like, I gotta do this. Like I can't live with myself if I didn't try. And yeah, I've been trying for the last like 7 years, and it's been an adventure, man.
It seems like it's getting a little bit easier for you. I was looking to look at I was looking at your page, see how how you were doing, and I'm noticing that it seems like everything's getting a little bit bigger for you. Everything you're doing is a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. I
I
mean,
Yeah, I think so. It is still tough though. I still consider myself like very in the very early stages. I haven't gotten like any like really big auditions yet, but I get these like little ones, and they're really fun. I honestly have the most fun when I'm shooting stuff with my friends, and like shooting stuff with Steven. If you guys check out his channel called Ascender, you'll see a bunch of stuff on there. He's got like 40,000 subscribers. But yeah, shooting stuff on his page, uh, like the quality of work is amazing. You're making some really great connections, and establishing really great relationships. So yeah, I do. I want to say, like, even though I might not be there like financially, um, I am doing like a lot of cool stuff, which I love.
yeah, I mean, as long as you're doing stuff that you believe in and that you like, the other stuff will come. It will. It's just a natural progression.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
agree.
Doomsday's mentioning here in the chat. He mentions, personally, I love these crowdfunded independent projects. Something needed, heart, passion, and understanding for projects.
Doomsday,
Uh,
100%, one
yeah,
hundred percent, man. Like that's why I just finished doing this Western short in Colorado, and I was just talking to one of my castmates who's also a friend of mine. Uh, she plays the protagonist, I play the antagonist, and we were just saying like we love doing these shorts because there's just like so much creative freedom. Um, you really get a sense of like, okay, cool. Like there's not much influence here where it's like producers want to do some other bullshit. You know what I mean? But yeah, I love doing these like smaller projects, these indie projects, crowdsourcing projects, because yeah, you got the creativity, you got the heart, you got the passion. It's all in there.
agreed. I mean, I mean. Some of most of the guys in the chat here, they're horror film fanatics. So
Yeah,
they've been around a lot of, they've watched a lot of independent films.
I and
And
I that's something I want to get into it too. Like just I want to do some more horror one of these days, and
horror's
soon,
fun.
soon enough, man.
Horror's fun. I mean, look at what Mikey did. I mean, he did that Nowhere to Run. I
Yeah,
mean, that's just an amazing movie.
Mikey.
Blow.
Yeah, he's so talented. He's gonna blow up soon.
I agree. I agree. It's just that right moment.
Yeah,
That right moment. It's
yeah.
gonna happen. It's gonna happen for you guys all. Um. So when you grew up, I mean, what was your what was the What was the one? I mean, the inspiration when you or better yet, when you were growing up, who did you watch? What was some of your favorite TV shows or actors or whatnot when you were growing up? Was there any
Um,
one particular actor or director or performer that you looked at and said, I'd like to do what they're doing too? Maybe someday.
let's see here. My first rated R movie uh, was Predator, and then that's when I also was like, oh my god, Arnold Schwarzenegger is my guy. Like, you know, I loved all his action movies, including Last Action Hero, and yeah, that's one of them. Any like military movie like Rambo, these are movies that like my dad had like on videotape. So it was like Predator, Rambo, Beverly Hills Cop, um, yeah, like Indiana Jones. Those were like the movies that influenced like my love for like these adventure films and action. Um, yeah, Full Metal Jacket, and I
Right.
saw all these movies like I feel like before I was a teenager. So yeah, I've seen these movies like over and over again because when we were growing up, we didn't have cable, so we would just rewatch these movies on videotape, and yeah, those would be some of the influences. And like in terms of looking at an actor and saying like, oh, I want to do that. The first person that came to mind is Will Smith. I'm a big fan of Will Smith. Love this show, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and just his personality, and his vibe was something that was like, wow, I feel like I resonate a lot with him. Not the music side, but just like, the acting side and just the personality side.
Right. Right. Yeah, I love the Predator too. I like those kind. I like Will Smith. I liked Independence Day. I was probably the I never watched him in Fresh Prince. So I think my real exposure to him was Independence Day.
Yeah.
But you can definitely see he had a ton of charisma.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
actually
he
knew
did.
I actually knew him as a rapper before I knew him as an actor.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I never watched Fresh Prince until after the show was over.
Oh, it's such a great show. It's definitely one of my favorite sitcoms.
Um, so going back, you mentioned about you're going around and you're auditioning and whatnot. How do you get prepared for an audition? We were talking to Daniel Hill on the Midnight Hour a couple of weeks ago, and he mentioned that people are now doing self tapes, and he's finding he doesn't like doing self tapes. He seems to like doing it more in person. What do you feel, and how does it change your process?
Um, it's less nerve wracking when you do self tapes because you can put the best product out and send it. You can work on it for hours, and then you can light it right and really do a whole production if you want. But I'm like 50-50 with it. Like I like self tapes because it's convenient. But also I like going into the room because it's like, well, I feel like you have a better connection there. Um, but yeah, yeah. So like in terms of like how I prepare for a role, I mean, you know, I have I want to say like a good group of friends who I reach out to. Like when I got a self tape, it's like, yo guys, I got a tape. We'll break it down, break the lines down. What's the motivation? What's happening in the scene? We'll try to find the scene like if it's like from a previous episode or something like that. We'll try to find like the background of it. But yeah, it's the way I treat it is like the way I treat doing like sports and martial arts is it's repetition. It's just repetition, repetition, repetition. Practice, practice, practice. And you do it so much to a point where it's like, you know, you wake up in the middle of the night and you can just literally recite your lines as you're like going to the bathroom or something like
Right.
that.
So, I mean, do you have like a steady partner that you run lines with, or is it just like
Yeah.
you said? Okay,
So my roommate usually,
okay,
um, and then sometimes if Mike is available, I'll hit up with Mikey, and then yeah, we'll play around with it too. I love doing self tapes with Mikey because, you know, he's like
Oh,
a free range, like, yo, let's just explore. Let's see what feels good and what's interesting, and yeah, yeah.
yeah, self tape. I mean, if I had anybody had any idea, any like, okay, self tape is so hard. I can't get to the moment. I can't reach it. I need to be in front of somebody. I saw Mikey show me one of his self tapes. Yeah, that blew everything out. Everybody would sit there and say that he had to get to an emotional place.
Yeah,
And he showed it to me. He showed the tape that he did.
yeah,
Dude, I was Josh. I had mad respect. I was like,
yeah.
how does that? I mean, that's got to be super hard. But
Mikey, yeah, he's so good. I really admire his work.
he admires yours. I
Oh,
can
that's
tell you
awesome.
that. I can tell you that. So it's a combination. It's a both. It's like both self tape is strong. Do you miss the in person though? I mean, is there part of that you like too, or
Not.
you like the new normal?
I like the new normal. I miss going to an audition room and like running into friends. That was always fun, because that's like really spontaneous. Um, and you know what? Sometimes it's like the thing that sucks about going into the room is like, with LA traffic, you'll drive like an hour there, you'll spend 5 minutes in the room, and they're like, "Cool, thanks," and you're
Yeah.
just like, "All right, well, I gotta go home now. I just gotta drive back." So like, again, in terms of like the convenience sake, self tapes is awesome. And then sometimes, what they'll do is like they'll do self tapes as like the first round, and then if they really like you, uh, yeah, they'll bring you in person, and then you'll run it again, and you'll meet with the producers and stuff like that. Um, yeah, so you
What
get a
was
little
your
bit of both.
What was your audition like for Death Squad?
Um, oh man, that it's crazy. That was like now it's like 2 years ago. It was in person. It's funny. They wanted me originally. They had me read for Brooks and Kirk. So I prepared both, and I was like, oh, I like Brooks because he had the sword, and you know. But then when I got there, they were like, oh, we actually just want you to do Kirk, and so I was like, okay, cool, and just ran it directly with the writer and director, and yeah, that was it. It was pretty. It was pretty. I want to say, like I didn't think it was intimidating at all. Um, but it just felt pretty relaxed.
What did you feel? I mean, you shot was it Albania, right?
Armenia.
Armenia. So
Yeah.
I mean, when they came up to you and said, "Listen, we want you to come out to Armenia and do this project," and did they tell you about the 110 story hole before or after you got there?
They did. They were like, okay, we're choosing Armenia because of these locations. And then they're like, but then we got to show you guys this active salt mine that we're going through. And
Was
it's
it
like,
active? Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so like during our shoots, like the director would go down even further and pick up like, I guess it's like raw salt, like little like salt balls and rocks and stuff like that. And yeah, it was just super cool. Yeah, it was like 70 stories deep.
I thought it was like a deeper than that. I thought, well, that's deep enough, right? I thought it was like
Yeah, I mean, like,
110.
yeah, 70
Yeah.
stories. That's like over 100
70,
feet.
100, even you're that deep, it's all the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I actually, okay, so we guess we can go roll into the Death Squad. So tell us about the first time that you got there. Okay, for you guys knowing, this Death Squad is well, I'll let you tell us about a little bit about Death Squad because
Death Squad.
this is fun. Death Squad's
It's
so much
it's
fun.
it's a really entertaining show. It was meant to be like daytime running programming, so it's like a zombie soap opera, but it's still like it's really dramatic. There's actually a good amount of action in it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it's about the this one really rich guy who hires a team of mercenaries to go back into a lab to retrieve, a target. And obviously things go awry, and we got zombies.
Now you shot this in a 70-story hole in the ground, an active salt mine, 70 stories downward.
Yeah.
Now, did the elevator ever get stuck or late or anything like that? I mean,
No, in that elevator, we were just like, it was tight. The elevator was as small as this car right here. It's like standing room only. We're like really scrunched up together. It took about 5 to 10 minutes to go down. Yeah. And then obviously, like, as they're going down, there's like no lights going down. There's only lights like at the bottom. And yeah, you feel the temperature change. You hear nothing when you go down there. Everything is just like, it's crazy. It's really wild.
so it really helped you get into it really helped everybody's performance because you're literally down in that hole. I mean, it's got to be like a small party in the back going like this nothing better happen, while I'm down here.
We were just thinking, wow, if there was like a weird earthquake, everything were to collapse, at least we would be instantly killed. That's because you're just under all that, ground and rubble and whatever. And if it collapsed, then it's like, hey, but yeah, no, we definitely thought about it. And it definitely helped us get into character, especially when you go into a location like that. And the set is what it is. And yeah, it was very raw. I loved it. I love stuff like that.
I love, it was a fun show.
Thanks, man.
So let's say you book yourself a role. So what's your process? I mean, how do you get ready to play that? I mean, is it a big process? Or is it, I know it's more than just showing up on set and like, boom, you're that person. Are you a little bit of method? I mean, or are you just,
it depends. How do you get
ready for a role?
It depends. With this one, it was, I just felt like a kid, man. I just felt like a kid who just wanted to play. And, I was so excited. When it came down to like the more emotional and serious scenes, yeah, we all have our own methods of getting there. Yeah, you just have to basically practice getting to that point. Yeah, man, it's, I'm lucky to have gone through like life experiences and having to met people in my life where like I can draw from these experiences and kind of apply them to the role, to the scene. Whether it's going to be like a death scene or something that's going to be really happy, or something that's going to be really intense. Like I'm lucky to have the experiences in my life to allow me to get there.
So it's pretty easy for you to. I mean, you sit there. It takes you what, like I mean,
I don't know. It really it depends, Patrick. Like it's, I've been lucky of the roles that I've done, like to get to that point where it's like it's got to be really intense and dark. I've gotten there pretty quick. There was a scene in Death Squad. I'm not going to spoil it, but I do recall, it was like I felt it bubbling up, and then I had to tell the crew like, "Yo, hurry up! Like, hurry up with your setup! Like this, I'm like I'm getting there, and I'm there, but it was weird. I got there like a little too early.
Oh,
yeah, but I think we got it. It was a really intense scene for me, and yeah.
So let's talk about one thing now. Now you've done some really physically intense roles. Death Squad, Oddjob. of you, of you to kill, or of you. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm crushing that. You know what? Yeah. Uh, well, the reason I'm mentioning this is because now you have a medical condition that has
Yep.
recently raised its head. Could you tell us? What can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah, not a problem. You guys can also go check out my YouTube page, the Josh Hahn. I talk about my kidney journey there. But back in 2006, in college, I was in ROTC, and my brother was in ROTC, and I was going to follow along and do the military route. But as I'm filling out the medical form and doing the medical tests, they came back saying that, oh, something's going on with my urine. Got to do a kidney biopsy. So I did it. Turns out that, like, okay, you have this autoimmune disease called IgA nephropathy, where basically your body is really confused. Your antibodies are attacking your kidneys. Like, there's a protein that's in your body that's attaching to the kidneys and it's damaging it. So it's a slow, gradual thing. There's no cure. It's just something that you have. And when I got diagnosed with it, I didn't really think much of it. And the doctors weren't really like, um, I don't know, they didn't seem to be like really worried. They were just like, oh, it's something that people have, no cure. It's a gradual thing. Um, but I didn't know it would go to this point. So my nephrologist told me now, uh, a nephrologist is a kidney doctor, if you guys don't know. Uh, Around 20% of this ends in renal failure. And unfortunately, I'm in that 20%. So, yeah, I actually got the scare. Patrick, the story is right before I left for Armenia. So, like a week before, I did a physical, and I was like, I just want to get my blood checked because I'm going to a foreign country. Just want to check things out, make sure I'm good to go. The day before I left, my bags are packed. My doctor comes back and he's like, "Yo, we're going over your numbers." He goes like, "You need to go to the ER." And
Oh,
I said, "What?" He's like, "You need to go to the ER." I'm like, "Right now?" And I'm like, "I can't. I'm going to Armenia to shoot this TV show." And he's like, "I don't know, man, with the numbers that's here." So I was like, "Oh shit." And I'm
right.
thinking about my future, obviously, and I called my friend who was a nephrologist. She was actually the chief medical officer of this company that I was working for, that I worked for. And I told her what's going on. I gave her the numbers, and she was like, "You don't need to go to the ER necessarily immediately. However, like, I would much rather have you stay in the US to do this thing." And I'm like, "Well, I'm only gone for 2 months. I'll take really good care. I will do it as soon as I get back." And she's like, "You have to do it as soon as you get back." So, yeah, as soon as I got back from shooting it, um, yeah, went in, did another biopsy. They did confirm that it's the same thing. And it's like, at that point, my kidney function had dropped drastically. And yeah, fast forward, I was just trying to uh, preserve as much kidney function as I can by, going basically vegetarian, vegan. Um, we did as much as we could. We tried, but right now I'm at a point where now I'm on dialysis, and
How many times a week are you?
so I'm going in 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But it's a blessing and a curse, man. Like, I didn't realize how bad my body needed this because so before I was on dialysis, I was in Maryland. I was in Maryland visiting my folks for 3 weeks, and during that time, I just noticed, like, okay, something's not right with my body. I started having serious edema, which is fluid retention, and then
Right.
I started just being really tired. So then when I came back from that trip, we shot that 48-hour film thing, and then the week that Tuesday following, I started feeling really weird and called my doctor and let them know, and they're like, "Yeah, you need to go into the ER and start dialyzing." And it turns out that my potassium was dangerously high. My potassium was over a 7. You want to be around a 3.5 to a 5, but it was a 7. And at that point, it's like your heart could just stop. And
Right.
so, yeah, I'm super lucky that I called the doctor. I'm lucky I didn't, decide to stay home and rest. But yeah, that's where we are today. Luckily, I got some like kidney friends who want to be a kidney donor. So we're just kind of working through that process. And in the meantime, yeah, I'm just trying to live a full life and do whatever I can to the fullest.
Um, let's see. We got something to comment. Someone, Jude says, Josh, I wish you well.
Thank you.
He says, I just told him. I said thanks for him to show up. He's a new watcher, new to me, so I appreciate him being here.
Awesome,
Um,
man. Awesome.
I worked on films for 20 years in my spare time, so he's not. He's saying, he understands it. He understands where you're at. He's in the business too, and
Right
trying
on,
to get
man.
this place. Now, is there like a national kidney donor? Is there any way that people could, if they wanted to, donate a kidney or see if they're a donor, donor eligible? Is there any?
Sure, sure. You can actually and this is where I'm like, I thank God for this, man. I'm so blessed. I was really hesitant about putting this Facebook post. Patrick, you saw it. So I did that post. I had some really great friends who were like, you need to do this because you need to ask. The original plan was I was going to have my brother, my mom, or my friend. All three turned out to be not so suitable for donors. And I was like, oh my God. At that point, I was like feeling really hopeless. But, my friends encouraged me to do this post. So I did. And I'm so happy I did because not only did I get more people who want to be a living donor, and we're going through this process right now. A friend of a friend, this person donated his kidney, and he gave me a voucher. And the voucher is part of the National Kidney Registry, and it basically gives me priority. So he gave his kidney altruistically, and then basically they said if you have someone that needs a kidney, give them this voucher, and then they'll take it over from here. So
So big.
thankfully, yeah, if anyone wants to donate, they can reach out to the National Kidney Registry and just altruistically they can donate, because what they'll do is they create this chain of, let's say for example, I get a donor but we don't necessarily match. However, there's another person that matches with the other guy, and so on and so forth. They can make this chain and do this, what they call the National Kidney Swap Program. And so, yeah, your kidney could go to someone else, that person's will go to someone else, and they'll create this chain link of people who need donations. And it's so wild, man. Like after getting diagnosed with this and after getting to where I am right now, I'm learning that the kidney is the most sought after organ. And also you only need one kidney to survive. And it's something where it's like, wow, we really need each other more so than we think. And like this list, this National Kidney Reserve or Registry is like, if I didn't have that voucher, for me here in California, the wait list is like 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
The chat's really rallying here for you. It says,
Thanks, guys.
Kingdom, yep. It says, yeah, Jude, thank you. Doomsday mentions this, damn Josh, brother, stay strong. Red mentions, this is very awesome for me. I'm having the same problems. Hopefully I won't need a new kidney. By my last appointment, they said there's something up with my kidneys. So what I'm gonna do is, me and Josh, after our discussion here, we're gonna put together some websites and some resources and we're gonna put them in the description box for this interview.
Yeah,
So, yep, if you need anything, or you know anybody that needs anything, along this line, kidney transfer, living donor, you can come to this interview or share it out, and we'll have some resources.
and it's for whoever that was. I'm sorry, I didn't catch the name, but when you're going through this, be as proactive as possible. My
Yeah.
my regret is like, damn, man, like I was young and naive, and it's like when you're young and you're physically fit, you think you could just kind of walk these things off, but it's like, unfortunately, I am paying for it, and
Now,
yeah.
was this genetics that caused this though?
So, and this is the thing, no one knows, and there is small inclination that they do think it's genetics, but there's also things about, like, being really stressed out. Like, there's one theory that they're saying, if you ever had mono or strep and your body didn't fully heal from it, then it can turn into this autoimmune thing, whether it's IgA nephropathy or lupus or whatever. um so it's crazy, but if you can get this early, I think you'll be fine. It's funny, the reason why my brother couldn't be a living donor, and he was devastated that he couldn't be one. Uh, Found out that he has the same thing, um, but it's really early stages, and like, I do believe you can make this go into remission, um, if you catch it early, if you catch the IgA nephropathy early. Um, yeah, I'm not a big fan of medication, but like, you gotta take it.
Yeah. So you have a little container with all your meds with you. You have to take.
I do, man. So right now,
Let's
like,
see it.
one of my friends, so we're going to like a going away thing, and one of the medications I have to take is called Sevelamer, and it's a phosphorus binder. So it helps me basically right before I eat. I eat this so that my phosphorus levels aren't too high. It's so crazy, man. Like, once you're on this, you gotta watch out for so many things, like potassium levels, phosphorus levels. Um, before dialysis, I wasn't eating any protein, like animal protein, but now that it's like, because of dialysis, it takes away a lot of protein. You need to increase it. So I'm back on animal protein again, which I love. It's one of the great things about it. but yeah, it's like I try to eat clean, and yeah, you got to take your medication.
Yeah, I remember the first time. I remember the first time when we went to Ann Arbor. Me and Lori went to Ann Arbor, and we saw all these people walk around with all these, like, literally, like, suitcases full of meds, and
Yeah.
we didn't have anything like that. But 2 years later, here we are walking around with like a little suitcase with all the different meds you had. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
like that. Um, so this is let's talk about it. Let's talk this. I'm gonna get with you after this, and it might take a couple days for us to get all the information here, but it will be
Sure.
on here, and I will push it. I promise you.
Sure, man.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah, no problem. Thank you for sharing that. I know that I just wanted to raise awareness with you on this because maybe not many people know about it, and they might have questions or whatnot. So why not?
Yeah, of course.
I also provided your channel just now, which I'll also do in the links below when I put this up. So you guys can all connect with Josh on his YouTube channel page. Please do so.
Thank you,
And
man.
if you do so, don't forget to leave the comment and you know and watch one video. Yeah, you have to, when you connect with somebody, you have to watch at least one video, at least 3 minutes long, and you have to leave a comment.
You
Otherwise,
know
YouTube
it.
might
You
come
know it,
by.
Patrick.
Yeah, YouTube will come by and they'll take it. So
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, so I want to talk about two other movies that I saw on your list there. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that, and then
Sure.
I won't keep you very long. I know you're on your way. So tell us about your last two projects I saw listed. Um, let's see, Delicate Relations and Black.
Okay, so you know, Delicate Relations was one of the first shorts, and this is the thing with Hollywood, man. Uh, there's so many projects that get started and it never gets done.
Oh,
Delicate Relations was one of those, and like, my friend wrote it. We shot it. It was great, but yeah, it just never came to be. It was like this Asian gangster triad yakuza film, and yeah, it had a lot of potential, but unfortunately, it was my friend's like one of his very first like kind of. It was longer than a regular short, but I think perhaps he bit off too much, uh,
Right.
you know, more than he can chew. Um, but hey, I wish I could say more about that project, man. To be honest with you,
Oh, do you think is he still trying to finish it? I mean, I know some projects. I
you know,
know
we,
one. I know one film director who took 5 years to complete his movie. 5 years.
yeah,
I was like, yeah. I'm just sitting there going, and the thing is, you can see it too, and all the actors, you can tell how younger, and then they got older
yeah,
as the
yeah.
film went on. But it was supposed to be the same timeline. Um, I just want to say hi to a couple of people that walked in the chat. Um, Thank you for showing up, Crystal. Um, it says, you know what? You're in the perfect room for that, Crystal. Depression's kicking your butt again. We got you. You're with friends.
How you doing,
Um,
Crystal?
yeah. Oh, hey, Stephen. How are you guys? How are you? All right. So this is my friend Stephen. He's also has a show. Oh gosh, boy, we're getting everybody showing up here.
Oh,
This is
amazing.
great. Yeah. Um, well, I want to talk about the one thing I didn't mention yet, but I want to tell everybody about this. So you and I, when we first started talking, um, I didn't know this because your first role was one of your first roles was Marco Polo,
Yeah, yeah,
right? And that's when you dropped the bombshell. Who you're related to?
yeah. So my cousin uh, is Rick Yoon. He was in the very first Fast and Furious. He was in the main antagonist in Die Another Day, or one of the henchmen there, the guy with the diamonds in his face.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, he was definitely one of a big influence. He helped me quite a bit, um, especially with that role, man. This was I
Now,
was.
have you shown him Odd Job yet? And if so, what did he say?
He said he loved it, and he's like, "We need to get you. The camera needs to be on you more." And I
Yeah.
was like, "Yo, we'll do that for the next one."
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Now, if you could get him to come on in your next in your film, if he
that would
would
be
be,
really cool.
it would be.
That would be
He'd
really
throw a
cool.
lot of weight behind it. But yeah, that was cool because I'm sitting there going like, oh man, because I'm a huge Rick Fume fan.
Yeah,
I've watched
yeah,
a lot of his work. He's awesome. So when you
yeah.
told
He's
me that,
great.
I was like totally stoked. Um, all right, so I got the last question I got for you is one. It's a little bit a heavy one, but this is our last one.
Sure.
Um, So how is everybody's been talking about recently about the diversity and the woke movement and the Me Too moment or whatnot. And my question to you is, as a Korean actor, um, how's that really helped you lately? Has it really helped your career anyway? Have you seen the doors open up for you? Are you
You know
starting
what?
to get auditions that maybe you didn't get before?
This is what Rick told me, and I 100% agree. He goes, back then when he was acting, he was acting in the 90s. He was like, back then it was hard but easy, meaning, you know, it's like once you're in, it's like you're like the guy. Nowadays it's easy but it's hard. And I'm like, yeah, dude, because there are a lot of auditions coming through. Um, when I compare it to, like, let's say, for example, when I compare the number of auditions I get compared to like Mikey or Mike Ferguson, it's still like I don't get that much. Um, and that's why it's like, you know what, it is really good to have that push for diversity, because you want to have that accurate representation of like what you see. Um, and then me growing up, people ask me like, oh, who did you look up to during when you were in film? And I'm like, I don't know, like there wasn't anyone that really looked like me. And
Right.
when there was one, it was like Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan. But then, you know, these guys are foreign actors, and Bruce Lee was just, you know, he was like a one off. But my whole thing as like an Asian American, like born here in the U.S., and I'm just like, you know what, I would love to just have a role where I'm just like you. I'm just like the coworker or the neighbor or some random guy, and not like the Asian trope. Or, you know, I've gone through auditions where it's like, I can't believe I went in for like to be like the Asian nerd, and it's, you know, I was never that.
No.
And very, it's like sick to see. And um yeah, I'm happy to see the push. I'm happy to see like these voices being turned up. Because yeah, you know, it needs to be done, it needs to be said. um I'm all with it. Yeah, and I think it has, in terms of, has it helped me? It has, because um you know, shout out to, again, my friend Steven. The reason why he One of the reasons why he was saying like he really enjoys like working with me is, well, one, he's like, you're really talented, and two, you need to get more recognition. And it's like he's using his platform for that, and I'm like, I really appreciate it. And um
Yeah, we
yeah,
appreciate it too. I mean, I appreciate the fact that he's doing it for you because I mean, you're right. You deserve to be seen,
yeah,
and I
thank you.
agree with that. That's one of the reasons I love doing these types of interviews is because I believe in talent and I believe in good people, and that's the reason why I do it. It's
Yeah,
fun. It's fun sharing you out with all. You know, I'm looking in the chat here. I enjoy the hell out of telling folks like, look what we got here. We need to make sure that he pops because he's got the talent, he's got the skill set, and he's really watch Death Squad. You doubt me.
oh, thanks, man.
Watch Oddjob. I mean, holy shit! Believe me. After that, you're gonna have you're gonna have a new legion of fans here, and this will,
Thank you, guys.
these people here will share this out. I promise you.
I
And
appreciate it. Thank you so
we'll be
much.
doing this again soon. I promise you that too.
Yeah, we should
Um,
do it with like me and the Mikeys, man.
you know what? I got that. Believe me, that's in the back of my head. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
Awesome.
I've been wanting to do. I tried to set up that podcast with you for Doctor Discord.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
could never get you guys all together though. It was like you guys were always so busy, and it was like, but now with
Yeah.
this, I got Mikey coming in here on July 13th.
Awesome.
So and like I said, he's gonna be here, and then I'm saving Mikey for Homestead.
Cool.
When Homestead comes out, I want to talk to him about that when it gets ready to pop.
Awesome.
'Cause, yeah, that'll be a fun. I'm looking forward to that. I
Yeah.
really am. A Western. I didn't know about the Western short. You're gonna have to send me a link to that so I
Oh.
can
Oh.
go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's called Dirty Rotten Tofu and the Gohan Girls, and I play the main antagonist. We got some cool gunslinging scenes, and it gets really bloody, man. And we had Phil Tan on there, who is like world-renowned stunt coordinator. He's been in the business for years. He did like Pirates of the Caribbean, I believe some Matrix, some of the Matrix, and but yeah, yeah, awesome guy. Like, without him, the stunt stuff and fight stuff would have been, I don't know, but he definitely came in and like saved the day in terms of that. So I'm actually really excited to see it. The footage looks great. Um, but yeah, I'll link you to it, man.
Okay. All right, folks. It is. I got you like for like 7 minutes left before your hour's over with. Unless you got to go. Because I was going to open up the chat and see if they have any questions for
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Let's do a few questions.
Okay. All right, chat. Open up. If you have any questions for our guest, Josh Hahn. Is it? How do I do this? Is it Josh or Joshua? Because I call you
Uh,
both.
like, full name is Joshua, but like my stage name is just Josh Hahn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions for Josh, please drop them in the chat. He's going to see you for a little bit, and he'll answer any questions you may have. You can ask him about his career, ask him about anything you wish. Let's see. Yes, Crystal, Josh will be your friend. I
Of
will. I
course, I'll
will.
be your friend.
Yep. Definitely. Um, let's see. She also says I always wanted to go to auditions, but I'm always afraid they won't like me. So
That's
that's actually a legitimate question, Josh.
yeah.
So how do you go in there when you feel like there's a hostile casting director?
You know what? You're gonna run into that too, and it's like
Mhm.
there's nothing you can do, and you just have to roll with the punches and don't take it personal. That's it. That's like the thing about this business. Like, don't take things personal. Uh, really gotta learn to have thick skin, and there will be the role for you. Like it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time. This 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 industry is a marathon, and people think they're gonna come out here and they're gonna do like, I'll give it like 2 years and then like see what happens. Like, all right, yeah. Um, Chances are it's not gonna happen. I've had friends move out and they were like, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and I'm like, doesn't work like that, man. You gotta like put in the time and the work, and you can't just go to auditions. It's not like that. You gotta
No,
like
you have to
really
be
show.
invited. You have to be
Yeah,
invited to go.
exactly. So yeah, in terms of that, it's like if you're scared about the rejection, you have to get over that fear. And I'm gonna say something where it's like maybe it won't be nice to say, but sometimes you have to say it. But it, perhaps this isn't the thing for you then. If that's like what you're really scared of, because yeah, that's gonna be a lot. That's a lot of it.
Uh, let's see. Jude mentions. What do you think about women martial artists?
What do I think about women martial artists?
Yeah.
We need more of them. That's what we need. We need more women martial artists. We need more strong women female roles. This one western that I just shot, this was a passion project. Her name is June, and she wrote this western because she was like, I've never seen a western where we have a strong Asian character female lead who's not like a concubine or a prostitute or some side character. So she made this character into this really strong protagonist, and yeah, we need to see more of those.
Agreed. Agreed. Uh, all right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I saw one here. Yep. Let's see. Steven says, when did you get first into, was it first? Did you get into martial arts or acting first?
Martial arts. I started martial arts when I was in middle school. All throughout high school, got my black belt in Shotokan karate, and then from my college on, just been with Muay Thai, kickboxing, a little bit of BJJ here and there, but yeah, mainly just Muay Thai. So I've been doing it for a while, and yeah, it's like really the only thing I'm really into in terms of sports.
Uh, he says, yeah, Red's mentioning, everyone's different. I guess stereotype for two. The redhead must have a temper. Yeah, yeah. So stereotypes, but as you feel like the stereotypes, has it receded a little bit? I mean, for your roles, I mean, like you said before, you come in there and you're playing the Asian nerd or whatnot. I mean,
Um,
has that regressed though a little bit? Has it been more like, we want you just as a cop. We don't really see you as an Asian. We just want you as this particular role. It's just as maybe
sort
the
of,
Asian nerd.
sort of. It has regressed a little bit, but the stereotypes are still there, and I don't think we'll ever get rid of these stereotypes. They're always going to be something. But in terms of having like, since I have my feet on the ground, it's like, yeah, I'm going to say it's getting a little better, but still work needs to be done.
Red mentions that's Josh. That's awesome, Josh. Um, yeah. So I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because Josh has got to go, and
Thanks, man.
I want to thank you all for. I want to thank you, Josh, definitely, or Joshua, because you're my friend. Thank you so much for doing this, and I am going to do the three of you guys. Oh my God, I hope we can contain that. It'll be
Yeah,
so much
yeah.
fun doing that.
It's going to be wild,
Um,
man.
I want to thank you for showing up and doing this interview. I'd like to thank you in the chat as well for coming out and supporting this. We were a little running behind, but you guys are extremely patient. I am very thankful for you. Um, I will also, like I said, I'll also put all your information, Josh, about the living donor and the kidney program. We'll put that all down in the
Thank you. Yeah.
description box below. And please, like I said, feel free to subscribe to Josh's YouTube channel. All right, that is it for this round of 8 questions. Next week we will have Timothy J. Cox, and that show will start at 8 o'clock. I want to thank you guys again, and we will see you next week.
Awesome, man. Everybody, thank you so much. Patrick, you're the man, dude. Thank
All
you.
right, peace.
Bye, guys.